Hi, I'm a girl named Ron, and I got to sit down at MagicCon Las Vegas with the mental health panelists, and I am going to allow them to introduce themselves.
My name is JT Laybourne. Content creator, and happy to be here.
Amanda Beans, I'm a content creator.
B-Monk, I'm a content creator and magic lover.
And our panel is called See the Magic in You, How Magic Can Affect Your Mental Health.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really grateful that you guys have put together this panel. As a master's level mental health clinician and teacher who incorporates Magic Kids in my own class activities, I really want to thank you for putting together this panel. I really appreciate the positive take on how games like Magic the Gathering can be beneficial. On that note, I'd like to ask each of you, what is one thing you think Magic does to improve your own mental health?
Oh, okay. I think the biggest thing for me is magic gives me that moment to just for a minute to be myself and escape the negative in that moment in my life and just have fun. Not have to worry about the adulting, if you will, or any of that other stuff. Just have fun in that moment and enjoy it.
And for me, Magic has helped with my mental health, my anxiety. So when I'm playing Magic, I think I can escape my brain for a moment and focus on something that's like I'm very passionate about, and the cards are beautiful. So that moment of like he said, like respite from the anxieties and the grief that you experience in life, that's what it does for me.
And it does take so much mental capacity to be in a game of Magic.
Correct.
So much reading and energy that it's true. You don't really have the time to think of anything else.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I actually do not play, although I might not be familiar with Magic. I am familiar with communities, and seeing the community that Magic has is unbelievable. And I know it is a game changer for so many people who don't feel a part of something.
Do you think this is the case for all games, or is this specific to Magic alone?
I think there's an aspect for all games, but I think Magic, like he was saying, the community in Magic is unlike anything else. The inclusivity and the positivity and the beautiful cards, which I think other games have beautiful cards, but not quite as nice. I think there's nothing like it. That's just my take on it.
If I could, for me, like I do a lot of video game playing as well, and there are those communities that are toxic. Here in Magic, I don't experience that. I've never gone into a convention or a tournament where it's been toxic. It's always just been people you walk in and everyone's like, hey, come play, have a good time. Like, you don't know that person, but they're inviting you to play. And I don't see that in many video games. So I think, in my opinion, it's Magic is.
I appreciate hearing that, because there are a lot of people who have not experienced such a positive space where they're from. I think it varies where you're from, where your play space is, what your LGS is like, even online communities who you end up becoming friends with varies. But it's important for people to hear and know that if you haven't found the space for you, there are other places that you can go that are so much more welcoming and give you a much more positive experience. For those that couldn't make the panel, was it recorded for folks to listen at home?
We did record it. It will be on the various social media channels. Yours at JT_Laybourne, mine's at Bean Streams, and he doesn't really have social media, but it'll be up everywhere. We'll post links to it.
I'm happy to link it.
Yeah.
In your panel, you discussed how Magic can help one overcome grief. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, so I really focused on the grief side of things. 10 years ago this weekend, I lost my mom to cancer, and then shortly after that, my brother to a heart attack. And so I dealt with grief and anxiety and depression all kind of go together. And when my husband introduced me to Magic, it was a way that I could explore, like I said, where I'm not able to just focus on that. I'm able to focus on other things. And so Magic brought my mental state from that grief kind of like back home, like to who I was before grief. So it's helped like playing and meeting other people and having that common interest and learning about other people's grief, and that we have similar stories. And so it's just really helped with my mental health. And it's helped me like this weekend honor my mom in a way I never thought I'd be able to. So that's awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you. You described kindness as a cascading effect. How so?
We never understand the impact of our kindness sometimes. Sometimes it's not our job to know. Today, I got to witness firsthand that cascading effect by me choosing to love who I am and be my authentic self. It somehow found Amanda to me, and then in turn, she did the same thing for Mike. So, yeah, I think we could definitely use a little more kindness in this world, and to be able to see the impact that it can have is powerful.
Many would argue that there are some darker corners of Magic's social media that are not such kind places to be. What would you suggest to someone deterred from playing Magic due to these negative posts and areas online?
So I can talk. When I joined the Magic community as a female, it was very, very difficult to get in. It's very male dominated. And so there were like things and comments made, inappropriate, right? And so it deterred me of wanting to play and stream. But I found some amazing people who said, if you give up, you're giving up something you love. And I think it's important that if you truly love the game of Magic, you're going to get hate no matter where you go in life. It's unfortunate. And I've learned from this individual right here that if you give into that, you're letting them win. And the whole goal of playing Magic is to win when you play. And so I think if you do that, you're giving up, and you should just keep going and keep playing and keep loving your passion, because it'll lead you to amazing individuals and opportunities that you never thought possible.
Yeah. As one of those people who have been discouraged from playing games, my advice is don't listen to that. Just have fun. Like, I even suggested to someone today, like, if you're walking through the convention, you see one person sitting at a table by themselves, just walk up to them, say hi, ask them to play a game with you. That's where you got to start there.
The only thing I would love to add to it is, like Amanda said, hate isn't something that is just in the Magic community. It's unfortunately everywhere in this world. You'll find it anywhere. So why not do what you love, enjoy what you're doing, surround yourself with the people you want to be around, because that way, at least when you do come across that hate, you've got an amazing community of people that are there to remind you how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, how much you matter, how important you are, and how worthy you are of happiness.
How do you actively filter out people and places to play that further positively enhance your well-being and enjoyment of the Magic space?
I would answer that as like, I've gotten to a point in my life where I've stopped listening to that negative, right? For the longest time, that's all I heard was negatives.
Right.
I've gotten to a point where I've filtered that negative out. I don't care what people want to say to me. I mean, I want to play a game that I love, that I'm passionate for, and I'm going to play that game. If you don't like me, sorry. I'm doing this for me. Ultimately, this is me. I'm doing something I love, and I want to do it. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, you can go play somewhere else. I'll play with these people who don't have people to play with. I'll invite them in to come play with me.
I think that's so important for people to hear.
He said everything. I would say is like, the moment that you invite someone who thinks that they don't have a place, that you just gave them a place to be. And so that's how you can filter out that negativity, because you gave someone a place who may not have thought they had one.
That's interesting to hear you say that, because some people are always looking for a place to belong instead of starting their own. And it's interesting to hear you say, create a space for someone else, because someone else out there is like you. So create a space for someone and build your own community.
Yes.
Super refreshing to hear.
I would add to that we've all started somewhere. We get good at something, we do something long enough, we have an easy time to forget that we had to come from somewhere. So, be that person that helps someone along. I've always said, be the kid that goes to sit down at the table at lunch with the other kid that doesn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Don't be the one that throws a tater tot across the lunchroom and make everybody else laugh. So yeah, be the one to start that community.
Thank you. Your panel describes connectedness around the world, which is hugely important to me because I believe cultural and societal norms impact the way players play the game, especially the game's more social and competitive formats. Can you talk about how you form these long distance connections and how it might be helpful to the game to understand those differences?
Thank you.
I come from a world of social media and a world that is largely looked down upon, I guess. People have a very negative opinion about social media. Unfortunately, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So understanding that there's so much good that comes from being able to connect with people all around the world, it allows us to see the world through a different set of eyes and start to become more compassionate and understanding of people that may not talk like us, look like us, dress like us. That worldwide connection is something that is irreplaceable. And whether it's through a game, through an app, through a social media, we need to learn to embrace it, because that's how we're really going to bridge the gap and change this world for the better.
Yeah, and the three of us all came from different places around the United States. He's, all different sides of the country. And the fact that the three of us are sitting here would probably be, I would say, a 1% chance that the three of us, if that, would be here. So, connecting with people in different places, you learn things about yourself, but you also learn things about how they, in terms of play the game. And people play differently, and it's fun to learn what makes someone individual. And I think that's the best part about the whole global part of Magic, is everyone's an individual, but we all share this common love of a card game.
I'm an avid PC, board game, and TCG gamer. I've never seen any other community care about or talk about mental health as much as Magic the Gathering. Why do you think that is? Do you think there's any inherent connection between the game and mental health, either positively or negatively, more so than any other game?
I would love to highlight, I actually used to collect Magic cards back in the mid-90s, but I unfortunately let the negative people win and, got teased for it and made fun of. And so I quit, and I don't know where those cards ended up. And that sucks to look back and, realize that you let someone take something that you enjoyed away.
Maybe you can learn here.
Exactly. I think it's a struggle, maybe because there is still a weird opinion out there of card games and video games, and there's a generation of people that don't get it. And unfortunately in life, when we might not understand something, when we don't know something, we tend to fear it and make fun of it. And so I think, people in the Magic community unfortunately go through some hard times because of that, because the jocks say that it's not cool. It can weigh on you. But seeing these amazing people walking this convention and how proud they are and how kind they are and supportive of one another, that's huge. So it's nice to see the other side of what I experienced.
Yeah, and I think, when I was getting into it, I called my husband a nerd. But I think that's what is amazing, is being who you love is, and I think everyone in the Magic community, they love their decks, right? You build something, you spend a lot of money on it, you play it, and you're very passionate about it. When I built my first deck, I have never felt more confident when I played and won with it. So I think, embracing the fact that I am proud to say that I am a Magic nerd. I love the game and I love what it's done for my life. And so I think the mental health is there because I think a lot of people share that thought, but they're afraid to say it.
As far as the community aspect of it, Like just this morning, standing in line while we're waiting to get in, there's a group of us there, and every time someone walked by, we just cheered them, just to cheer them. And we don't know who they are, we don't know, but just by doing that simple act, just brighten their day. So as they're walking in to go to work, because it's busy for people who are working here too. Like they don't get to walk around the convention as much because they're busy, but just by that one simple act, like brighten their day potentially. We don't know what happened last night. We didn't happen this morning on the way here, but just that one simple action definitely started their day off brightly, I'd say.
And this is my last question. What would you say to someone introverted who has a difficult time making friends or opening up to people, who is maybe too afraid to get started with Magic or try considering creating their own community, or is considering leaving due to lack of social interaction? What would your advice be to someone in that situation?
For me, I would say don't give up. There were many times I've got into Magic the last year. There were many times that I wanted to quit, sell all my cards, and not keep going. I'm fortunate to have made friends through the game who encouraged me not to. And I would tell anyone who's thinking about quitting or doesn't feel like they belong that you do. You just have to find your right pod. And that's big into Magic, is you have to find the people and the gathering around you that will make you want to keep going. And so I think it's important to find your group of people. And I found mine. So.
One thing for me is I will say that I may not know you or this other person, but if you need someone and you want to play with Magic, find me. Come play. I don't care if I'm sitting at a table with 2 other people. You can join us. You are welcome with me anytime.
It's always easier said than done, but don't allow someone else's negative opinion change your happiness. Again, it's always easier said than done because I did. But if you're feeling like giving up, if you're feeling like quitting, I want to add to what Amanda said. It's maybe because we just haven't found the right group of people yet. And I think that's so important in life. We spend too much time trying to be somebody that we're not, to make other people happy. And in turn, it makes us miserable. So although it might be scary, steadfast, stay true to who you are. Keep fighting, keep searching, find that group of people that make you feel like $1 million, that make you proud of who you are and make you want to keep going. It's easy to quit. It's not easy to keep fighting, but it is very worth it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for joining me. If there's
Thank you so much.
anything you want to say closing out, anything else that you want to touch on, those are all the questions I have.
Go make someone smile.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked that video. And if you did, I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, and share.